Hey everyone, welcome back to the ship. We are live in Phoenix, Arizona. Of course, I am Darren Smith. Of course, we are on Radio Row, and I have a very special guest. His name is Shawne Merriman. I know a lot of you Chiefs fans know this guy. You probably hate him too, which for good reason. He was a great linebacker who played for the Chargers, but he's with us today. You're representing, of course, Lights Out Extreme Fighting. First of all, before we even get into that, talk about your career because you were a bad man, and I follow you. Just mentioned before we came on air, I follow you on Instagram, and you highlight a lot of knockouts and people who do stuff that probably shouldn't get done, and then they have paws put on them. So, where does all this come from?
It's am I good?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
So I started training MMA after my first year, and I wanted to get better with my hands, combat, and then learn how to pass. I was terrible using my hands. And when you get to the NFL and in college, you're bigger, stronger, faster than everybody else. You can go around them and through them, but everybody's good. And so I had to get better with my hands. So I picked up MMA to just get better. And so every offseason, I started training with a lot of MMA guys. I would get done with my football workouts, and I would just go do hand combat drills, pummeling, some light jiu-jitsu, rolling the ground, learn how to use my leverage. And I just fell in love with the sport. So in 2018, I launched Lights Out Extreme Fight. As you said, we're now on Fubo Sports, Fubo TV. We had a big fight on the 14th, a couple weeks ago, and we moved into the top 10 most watched on Fubo Sports all time ever. And so it was great for us, man, because just being in the sport and coming from where I came from, having a background that I came from, and now seeing it being a global event because we were shown in Canada and France and some parts of Spain. It's been fun, man, because you walk away from the game and you talk to any one of the former guys, and they'll always say, they say, miss the locker room, they miss competing, they miss being around everybody. And I get the opportunity to do that with these fighters.
Obviously, you had the nickname Lights Out. Where did that originally come from?
My sophomore year in high school, I knocked out four kids in the game.
Damn.
And
in one game?
Yeah. And so they started to I remember 20 students come run up to me after the game. They said, hey, you knocked those guys lights out. And I looked at everybody and I said, yeah, call me Lights Out.
Nice.
And I did not know it was going to stick the way it did. I remember going to school Monday morning and everybody's kind of tapping me on the back and saying, oh, good game, lights for Lights Out. And so I went home that day and I begged my mom to let me get a Lights Out tattoo on my right forearm. Initially, she told me to get the hell out the room, but eventually she let me get it, and that's kind of where the whole Lights Out, flip the switch thing came from.
You played for the Bills, you played for the Chargers. What would you say what was your best experience in the NFL? Your highlight, so to speak.
Well, I walked into the locker room with the Chargers, and I played on a team with 4, possibly 5 Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm 20 years old. I was the youngest drafted player at the time. And so you walk in the locker room and you see LT and Phillip Rivers and Lorenzo Neal and Jamal.
Nice,
You can't believe it, right? You watch all these guys on TV, you watch them in college, and now you're in the locker room as their teammate. And so to see what we did from around 2005 to 2010, and we were dominating a lot of people.
You are.
And so those kind of moments you'll never forget, because it's the further you get away from the game, you're like, man, I really missed that point in time.
I know you, like you said, you had a period of time when you all were dominant in the AFC, especially AFC West. But what was your most disappointing? I mean, was it just the fact that you all never got over that hump with that type of talent?
That's it. I mean, I explained it. We were so dominant around that time period, and not to get a ring, at least one, possibly even 2 during that time. And it's funny now when I talk to a lot of these young guys, especially the guys from the Chargers, because they have a team where they can possibly. You got Justin Herbert there. You got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Eckler. You got Khalil Mack.
You got the pieces.
You got the pieces. And I tell them when I talk to them, I say, guys, take advantage of this now, because you will be sick later. I don't care how many Pro Bowls or all pros you got, or I got defensive rookie. None to me. I mean, that's great, and I'm thankful. I'm grateful for those accolades, but the accolade is you always going to want is putting a ring on your finger.
Looking at this game on Sunday, you got the Chiefs, you got the Eagles, number 1 offense, number 1 defense. Give me, from a player's perspective, your outlook on how this game might unfold.
I went against Patrick Mahomes last week because of that ankle.
I can't believe you, man. This is Mahomes.
Yeah, I went against Patrick Mahomes because I had that same injury as a defensive player. Right now, I got to move around a little bit more. But that's a 2-week deal. I don't care the mildest of the mildest high ankle sprain. It is a 2 to 4 week deal. And what he was able to accomplish and get done on that ankle with the wide receivers that he didn't have access to.
And 3 of them getting out the game.
3 of them without the game. And then we'll put the icing on the cake for me is how he finished up that game with his legs.
Yeah.
I said, okay, all right. The only thing I got to say is that he wasn't playing the best team in football. That's really the only thing, because there's no holes in this Philadelphia Eagles team. If every when you got great teams, there got to be somebody, right, who you're going to go after. And for the Cincinnati Bengals, it was Eli Apple for them. They said, you know what, this is a good team, but that guy's the weak link. That's what their plan was. Who do you go after this week? They got Philadelphia Eagles got a defense that are rotating up front. You got all pros and Pro Bowl guys coming off the bench, fresh, right? The sack, they're able to get after you. The offensive line across the board, you would even look at the defensive play. I'm looking and saying, man, that left guard, left tackle, all these guys are good, but that right tackle, I'm gonna get him. Right? That's my attitude. But they're good all the way across the board, and so for that reason, it's hard to go against the Eagles. As great as Patrick Mahomes is, and I feel terrible going against him because last week I looked like a fool. I was like, man, they about to get blown out. Ooh. He's not going to finish the game, and not only did he finish the game, he tore it up. He did extremely well. So I got to take the Eagles only because they just have more pieces to the puzzle.
You got a score prediction?
I think it'll be at least a touchdown by the Eagles. I don't think it'll be a close game, but
really, oh man,
no, I don't think it'll be one of those things where it's a close game, because the Eagles have they're not going to fall out, right? They're not going to get up and say, oh, they're going to start doing things uncharacteristic. If the game gets up and they have opportunity to keep going, they have too many weapons. They're too balanced, right? Okay, cool. You want to stop Devontae Smith? I'm sorry. If you want to stop Smith, you want to stop Brown? Okay, no problem. We're going to run the ball. You want to stop the running game, then Jalen Hurts going to hurt you with his legs. And so there's so many parts of that game that they can beat you at. And I just don't know if Kansas City has enough across the board. And it's going to take more than the greatness of Patrick Mahomes for them to go out and get this win.
That's fair. My only pushback to you would be this. Remember, 2007, New England Patriots, that high-powered offense. Granted, obviously Brady could never, but Steve Spagnuolo with that New York Giant defense, he drew up a game plan. They only scored 14 points. I think we might see the best of Spagnuolo in this game with that defense.
I want it to be a great game. I'm not like, look, and Patrick Mahomes is one of my favorite players. Also, Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
I got just, and I played with Antonio Gates, basically my whole career, just about. And in college, I played with Vernon Davis in college.
Yeah.
And so I've seen tight end after tight end after tight end and play at that high level. And Travis Kelce, when it's all said and done, he's going to finish somewhere in the top 5 of the best tight ends ever. So he'll be up there with Gates, Tony Gonzalez. He's going to be up there. If he's not already considered there already, by the time he gets done, he will be.
Shawne, where can people find out about Lights Off XF, and then how can they follow you on social media?
Yeah, they can check us out on lightsoutxf.com. It's a website. Also, we check us out on Fubo. If you don't have Fubo TV, Fubo Sports, get it. We got a big fight coming up in Los Angeles in April. And so, yeah, just check us out. Keep following and my sign them up videos on Instagram. Man, I love those.
Shawne, appreciate the time, man. Thank you so much. Are you going to the game Sunday?
No, I'm out.
Oh, man. Well, too bad, because I want you to see Mahomes lift up that thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm going to be watching him regardless, man. I'm a big Mahomes fan, man. I love Mahomes. He's a great player. They got a great team. And Andy Reid, too, man. I'm really happy because I go back playing against him when he was with the Eagles and see what he's doing now. It's been great.
All right, man. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much for stopping by. All right, we'll be back after this timeout.
Are you hosting a Super Bowl party and want to elevate your guest experience? Paige White at KC Cocktail Company is doing a cocktail drop-off giveaway to one lucky individual. KC Cocktail Company specializes in creating beautiful, delicious craft cocktails, and Paige's promotion includes 75 servings valued at $300. You can choose from 1 or 2 different craft recipes. And also included in this package, Paige provides the the cups, napkins, straws, cocktail setup with jugs for the cocktails, and garnishes to complement the craft cocktails. To enter to win, check out our website at www.kccocktailco.com and sign up for the promotion. You will be entered to win, and the winner will be announced on February 10th. Everyone who enters the contest will receive a 10% discount on a cocktail drop-off package of your choice. Contact Paige and KC Cocktail Company directly to learn more. Don't wait until the last minute. Reserve your cocktail drop-off today. Their phone number is 816-456-4388, and the email is hello@kccocktailco.com. Don't miss out on this chance to elevate your party